Hello, it's another Wednesday night and time for our weekly parley on the news program that comes to you with an extra touch. Tonight, the federal government moves to further strengthen security in the nation's aviation sector, instill greater fiscal prudence, support the oil and gas sector. As former combatant, you can understand why the president today took out special time to launch this year's Remembrance Emblem Appeal. We'll tell you all about that. In other stories, the race to change the budget cycle to January to December is on at the National Assembly as budget defenses and related activities begin. So, we have so much on oil and gas, like I said earlier, law and order, the business environment, and of course, food. Yes, food, as today is World Food Day. You know what's going on or going down this weekend in Edo State? Well, the mother of all national cultural festival. We'll tell you how ready Benin Kingdom is to host the world, literally. Well, this and much more is up tonight. So let me not heighten up your appetite too much, for the taste of the pudding is what? Is in the eating. I am Fatima Umar and this is News Extra. The federal government is reassuring Nigerians that it will neither abdicate its responsibility nor fail to provide them an atmosphere devoid of security threats and criminality for a stable and prosperous future. President Muhammadu Buhari, who stated this while launching this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day Emblem Appeal Fund with 10 million naira, emphasizes that peace and security of Nigeria is non-negotiable. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the details.
The launch of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day Emblem Appeal Fund is meant to not only give a befitting honor to the gallant officers and men who paid the supreme sacrifice to keep Nigeria united, but also provide and cater for their dependents, as well as those who survived with varying degrees of incapacitation. President Muhammadu Buhari said, more than anything else, the day must serve as a reminder of the need to jealously guard the unity of the country, which was won at a great cost.
We would like to commend and reinforce our gratitude to our men and women in the armed forces who have risen to the challenge of securing our nation and providing the enabling environment for national progress. The peace and security of Nigeria is non-negotiable, and the security agencies must continue to do their work diligently.
The federal government, he said, will remain steadfast in developing alliances with the international community, as well as providing necessary logistical support towards ensuring that the armed forces operate with the best modern warfare equipment towards totally defeating Boko Haram.
The task of resettling and rehabilitating our citizens, as well as the reconstruction of territories affected by the war, will continue to be one of our priorities of this administration. We shall not rest until all our displaced persons are safely resettled within their communities without fear of further attacks.
The president directed service leaders to take urgent steps towards the settlement of entitlements of their troops, as well as welfare packages designed for their dependents, saying families of fallen heroes must not suffer the loss of their loved ones or deprived of their due benefits.
Government agencies at the federal and state levels should continue to patronize the services of the Nigerian Legion in the provision of security services. The potentials of our ex-servicemen are enormous, and the economy can tap into this for national development. I wish to call on all Nigerians and others residents in Nigeria to procure and wear the emblems with pride.
Defense Minister Bashir Magashi, who spoke in the same vein, called for generous donations in support of the nation's veterans and dependents of all fallen heroes.
I wish also to remind us that the national security, without doubt, is the business of every Nigerian. I therefore call on Nigerians to be more security conscious and to continue to accord due support and encouragement to the armed forces of Nigeria in the task of safeguarding the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of our country.
The Armed Forces Remembrance Day, organizers say, calls to mind the negative impact of strife and conflicts, and therefore demands that responsible citizens must at all times avoid actions that emphasize their differences. As President Muhammadu Buhari maintains, the strength of Nigeria lies in her diversity. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Thank you, Adamu. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved for immediate implementation of additional cost-saving measures aimed at instilling financial discipline and prudence, particularly in the area of official travels, in a bid to curb leakages and ensure efficiency in the management of the government resources.
Information Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Willie Bassi, indicates that henceforth all ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, are required to submit their yearly travel plans for statutory meetings and engagements to the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and or the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation for express clearance within the first quarter of the fiscal year before implementation. The President also approved that ministers, permanent secretaries, special advisors, senior special assistants to the President, chairmen of extra ministerial departments and chief executive officers of parastatals who are entitled to continue to fly business class, while other categories of public officers are to travel on economy class. Meanwhile, travel days will no longer attract payment of Esther Code allowances, as duration of official trips shall be limited to only the number of days of the event as contained in the supporting documents to qualify for public funding. The statement notes that the Auditor General of the Federation has been directed to treat all expenditures that contravene these guidelines as ineligible.
In the meantime, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has continued to warn against eroding regulatory standards and protections put in place after the 2008 global financial crisis, and for governments to keep robust macro-prudential policies. Leah Katumbawatunde tells us of how the fund is leading the conversation on policy steps to be taken towards safeguarding the economy from another global crisis. Take a trip down memory lane. It all started with the collapse of the Lehman Brothers right here on American soil in 2008, when the fourth biggest investment bank in the state filed for bankruptcy. Now, that singular action sent the world into a financial crisis. Businesses collapsed, markets rolled, and the financial sector took the biggest hit. The International Monetary Fund is observing that market rates would be lower for longer periods. Vulnerabilities have increased as investors seem more attracted to lower rates risk and high levels of corporate debts with favorable global flows to Nigeria.
Issuing bonds in hard currency and in domestic currency is currently possible because of the favorable global financial conditions. Of course, it is key what countries such as Nigeria are doing with those borrowed funds, and as Evan was pointing out already, undertaking structural reforms to develop the economy is key.
With some worries over non-Paris club debts, the IMF say both local and foreign debts are good for Nigeria, but insist they have to be used for productive purposes.
Nigeria has a large exposure to non-resident holders of domestic debt, particularly with central bank bills. And then, as we understand, the central bank bills, there's a lot of higher redemptions or higher, there has to deal with more rollovers of those in the coming quarters. And so managing those risks, particularly with respect to local currency debt and the behavior of non-resident investors, is very important.
The IMF sees the global economy in a synchronized downswing, but to avoid stories that touch the heart, financial markets need to act now to head off the growing risk. From the IMF headquarters in Washington, D.C., I'm LEAKAGES Babatunde, NTA News.
Thank you, Leah. And now back home, the announcement by the NNPC of the discovery of hydrocarbon in the Kolmani River 2 well in the northeast means that area is officially an oil-producing region. Lydia Sampson in this report traces the journey to the major breakthrough in the nation's oil and gas industry and the implications.
The search for hydrocarbon has been on in northern Nigeria for about 40 years. However, the journey to the hydrocarbon sand in Kolmani River started in the 1990s when international oil companies used 2D seismic data to explore crude oil. The search led to the discovery of 146 feet of hydrocarbon sand in the Kolmani River 1 well, with estimated prospects to contain about 33 billions of cubic feet of gas. But the IOCs, however, didn't investigate deep target as the drilling was based on 2S seismic data. In 2016 and 2017, a subsidiary of NNPC Frontier Exploration Services acquired the 3D seismic data over the Kolmani River prospects area in order to determine whether there is any possibility of prospects overlooked by multinationals. In the light of this, the drilling of the Kolmani River Well 2 was flagged off by President Muhammadu Buhari on the 2nd of February 2019.
We still need a virile oil and gas industry to take care of the challenges of the moment and to invest for the future.
In line with President Muhammadu Buhari's local content drive in Nigerian oil and gas industry.
And the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, MUSTAPHA, has advised the general public to beware of fraudsters and their cohorts who use his designation and office to defraud unsuspecting Nigerians. The report.
In a statement, Boss MUSTAPHA said his attention has been drawn to unrelenting activities of faceless persons using the social media and other platforms to lure unsuspecting members of the public to submit their curriculum vitae at a fee to a non-existing desk at the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation for federal government appointments. Similarly, inaccurate information is being peddled about constituency projects being executed under his office, while numerous forged introductory letters purportedly issued from his office seeking diverse favors from individuals and corporate entities for personal gains are in circulation. Boss MUSTAPHA notes that for the avoidance of doubt, his office neither executes nor supervises constituency projects, and that measures have been taken to track these impostors and bring them to justice.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of new aides to the First Lady of Nigeria. In a statement by the Director of Information to the First Lady, the new special assistants who are to take charge of various portfolios are Dr. Mairo Al-Makura, Mohammed Al-Bashir, Wole Adediran, Aliu Abdullahi, Zainab Kazim, and Funke Adisian. The appointments, according to the statement, takes immediate effect. It's our time for us to go on our first commercial break. News Extra returns shortly. Please stay with us.
Papa Scholastic, now what do you do? Emeka, drive the limousine Bugatti, come inside now. Waiting below 200 naira recharge card for me. 200 naira.
Just recharge 200 naira for 1 day, and you say fit follow win for the hundreds and hundreds of heavy prizes like keke na pepper, industrial sewing machine, grinding machine, and generator. Glow, my own done better.
I grind our go win. Now here I go put up. Make that.
Hey, make una no go recharge you na Glow. I don't win generator. And here, now myself. Oh, the more you recharge, the more your chance the better.
Unlimited. Afe Babalola University at Drekiti. Abuja celebrates 10 years of unprecedented achievements. Highlights Saturday, 19th October, convocation lecture by Professor Temitope Alonge, 11 a.m. Launching of anniversary publications, The Elusive Search for Nation Nigeria and other books by Are Ambassador Afe Babalola San, 1 p.m. Commissioning of Abuja Administrative Building and others. Sunday, 20th October, special Thanksgiving service by Bishop Olashupo Ayokunle, President, Christian Association of Nigeria, 10 a.m. Founders Anniversary Dinner and Awards Night with King Sunny Ade on the bandstand, 5 p.m. Monday, 21st October, 7th Award Convocation, Award of Degrees and Honor of Degrees to deserving members of the public, including the Sultan of Sokoto, the Obi of Onisha, Professor Anthony Adegbulugbe, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and celebrate 10 years of Abuja, the fastest growing university in Africa. Abuja, a vision in action.
She picked the time, he picked the place. Now their eyes meet. But self-doubt stands between them. Can they break the barrier? With the freshness of antibacterial mouthwash formula in our best ever close-up toothpaste. Break the barrier. Move closer with confidence. Close-up deep action for 12 hours of fresh breath.
Like a bird needs wings to fly, you need skills to be productive. No matter the level of your education, ITF can train you to acquire skills in areas like mechatronics, metal machining, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, information and communication technology, ICT, culinary art, and agriculture. Acquire a skill and transform yourself from being unemployed to becoming even an employer. Be a valuable Nigerian youth. Say no to unemployment and poverty.
I'll spread my wings and fly so high. I'll reach for the stars, yeah, it's time.
Industrial Training Fund, developing the nation's human resource.
Helpline Foundation Nigeria and Partners presents the 3rd Annual African Women Conference AWC 2019, a gathering of experts, institutions, corporate organizations, and individuals promoting the growth, stability, and development of African women, exploring viable options through which various resources available to African women can be channeled towards the sustainable development of the continent. Expected participants include wives of African heads of government, female parliamentarians, public office holders, entrepreneurs, and sustainable development partners. Theme: building a coalition to end gender inequality in Africa. Date 21st to 23rd November 2019. Venue: Kenzi Menara Palace, Marrakesh, Morocco. Chairperson of the occasion: Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria. For participation and inquiries, visit www.africa-womenconference.org or call +234 806 5388 424. AWC, building an Africa where every woman's potential is fully harnessed. Powered by Helpline Foundation Nigeria, Echoes Africa Initiatives New York, International Center for Diplomacy, Morocco.
Welcome to Adeleke University, a faith-based learning institution located in the serene and historic town of Ide, Osun State, Nigeria, running on the well-thought vision of its founding fathers to improve lives and society. The institution offers affordable and quality education. We are currently offering admission into our faculties of science, engineering, law, and art. We are also offering entry into the Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences and the Faculty of Business and Social Science. Our College of Postgraduate Studies offers you the chance to earn your master's and doctorate's degree in over 30 disciplines. For more inquiries, please visit www.adelikeuniversity.edu.ng. You can also call 0806-820-2021. Adeleke University, education, excellence, character.
Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit 2019 holds on the 6th to the 8th of November 2019. The summit will take place at the Banquet Hall Presidential Villa, Abuja, Nigeria. Theme: leveraging diaspora resources for economic growth. Sectors: agribusiness, education, training, healthcare, entertainment, sports, hospitality and tourism, infrastructure and real estate, manufacturing, extractive industries, telecommunications, technology and innovation, waste management and environmental remediation, transportation. For registration, visit www.ndis.gov.ng. For participation and sponsorship, please call 090-177-77008, 0817-2244-660. Convened by the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission.
Welcome back to News Extra. Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige has promised amicable resolution of the lingering issues of consequential salaries adjustment between the federal government and organised labour. He gave the assurance in his opening remarks at the second day of the meeting holding at the conference room of the ministry. The meeting, which is being attended by all members of the negotiating committee, including the head of civil service of the Federation, Wages and Salaries Commission and Organised Labour Union, is expected to conclude the agitations on salary issues and arrive at a figure. The meeting has gone into a technical session behind closed doors. President Muhammadu Buhari has assented to 5 bills, 2 of which would boost agricultural activities in Nigeria. Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Umar El Yakub, made this known while addressing the press. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The Act also considers the importation, manufacturing, as well as distribution of fertilizer, to the extent that it seeks to regulate by ensuring that people that operate in those segments must have a registration or a permit.
The 5 bills that got the President's assent include National Fertilizer Quality Control Bill, Nigeria Council of Food Science and Technology Establishment Bill, and 3 amendment bills of Universities of Maiduguri, Obafemi Awolowo, and Tafawa Balewa University.
The first 3 university bills are quite similar, and indeed they have something in common to all the 3. Because what it does is to specify the minimum qualification of the chairman of the governing council of the universities, which is a minimum of university degree or its equivalent. It also seeks to regulate, as part of the bill, the ownership of intellectual property.
He reiterated the commitment of the President to work in harmony with other arms of government in the interest of Nigerians. Meanwhile, the leadership of the National Assembly, represented by the Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Ahmed Idris Wasi, is in Belgrade, Serbia, for the 141st Interparliamentary Union Assembly. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
In the meantime, the legal system in Nigeria is such that it encourages freedom of expression and fair hearing as part of the bundle of rights under Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. These and other rights are protected by the courts. In this special report, Dele Atomi takes a look at the implications of comments on matters pending before the court of competent jurisdiction.
Of the 1999 Constitution establishes the courts and vested the judicial powers in them. Litigants in either civil or criminal matters are, by these and other sections of the Constitution, encouraged to approach the court for redress on any infringement or to avert an infringement. These sections of the Constitution also guaranteed the independence of the judiciary as an arm of government. With the judicial powers vested in the courts, matters before them are expected to be adjudicated upon and determined with the law as it is. While a matter lies within the court of competent jurisdiction, fair comments may be entertained, but unfair comments are not expected, as these could be sub judice. when a matter is before the court, reference to it does not, by the mere fact, make it an offense. A matter is believed to be sub judice if it is still being discussed in a court of law, and it is therefore illegal for anyone to talk about the material facts on the television or in the newspapers, as this could lead to contempt of the court.
Call is sub judice, and it is contempt of court, that the person can be punished for a term of imprisonment or fine.
You are said to be interfering with a matter that is sub judice. So, for instance, matter is in court, and I'm out there saying by the weight of evidence, this man is going to win, or blah, blah, blah. Then at that point, you are trying to get the public against a likely decision of a court that may not be as you've been telling the public.
Under the law, contempt of court can be categorized into three. While the first contempt may be in form of scandalizing the court itself, there may be contempt in form of abusing parties who are involved in litigation, as well as prejudicing the courts before a matter is heard.
Much as you are permitted, or members of the public are permitted to make the word is fair comments about proceedings that are sub judice, fair comments, they are prohibited from making statements that are preemptive.
This is the paper we filed on 9th or on 12th October 2019. Now, we tried to serve them on Saturday. They locked them in their offices. Only God knows whether it is intentional or not. We couldn't serve them. These are the people who are saying that there is delay and so on. You are locking up your office so that you are not served. You are doing this, and you'll be the same person to go on air and criticize everything on that you yourself know is not right.
The legal practitioners stamped any comment capable of putting the court in public ridicule on any matter before it as sub judice. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Very informative. Now, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Gabriel Onishaki, has appeared before the Senate Committee on Defense, during which he sought the support of the National Assembly in sourcing improved funding for security outfits. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports on this and other appearances before the Senate.
Another season of checks and balances between the executive arm of government and the parliament. The National Assembly played host to quite a number of government ministries, departments and agencies. The Chief of Defense Staff and some top military officials were among the early comers. They appeared before the Senate Committee on Defense to give account of their 2019 budget and justify their proposal for 2020 budget. Usually, facts and figures on security actions and plans are treated with utmost protection, and that is why this meeting also dissolved into a closed door. But before then, the visitors had presented ways the Senate can help in strengthening Nigeria's security system.
And we hope that having interface with you, we will be obliged that opportunity to really see the much we have done, and then also be able to really get your approval of our proposal for 2020.
We look forward to the situation where this country comfortably overcome all these challenges which we are now experiencing. I'm confident that Nigeria has the capacity to do that as well.
Meeting with security agencies continued, with the Nigerian Navy appearing before the Senate Committee on Navy for pre-budget defense interaction. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, informed the committee that since 2015, there has been a reduction in the cases of piracy attacks in Nigeria.
In 2019, from January, we've had 18 reported cases, with just about 18 of them successful. So we've had a good score in that regard.
The Senate Committee on Privatization also met with the Bureau of Public Enterprises, during which the agency revealed that out of the 234 privatized government-owned enterprises, 29 are non-performing.
137 of them are judged to be performing, while 10 are
are recently privatized enterprises that are still being monitored?
And the money that will be used to fund the budget, some will be gone from privatization. And that means that the office is very important and that the office generates revenue for the country.
The management of the Rural Electrification Agency were also at the Senate for the 2020 budget defense. The managing director of the agency, Damilola Ogumbi, explained that 16.3 billion naira has been proposed for the 2020 fiscal year, with 113 rural electrification projects earmarked for execution.
The 2020 project proposal consists of 113 projects, which are split into 55 grid extension projects, 13 mini-grid projects, and 45 solar street lighting projects.
Electrification contractors, you provided 2.7 billion. The same thing I told you, we need to know the total indebtedness.
The Senate Committee on Power is particularly interested in seeing that the Electricity Access Project, which will provide independent power sources for universities across the country, is achieved. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Unko, NTA News.
And the benefits of engaging relevant stakeholders to sustain the gains recorded in security operations in Nigeria necessitated another roundtable between the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, and the House of Representatives Committee on Air Force. 4 weeks after the leadership of the House met with heads of security agencies, the Air Chief, while interacting with the lawmakers, said the Air Force is currently involved in 4 major operations in Nigeria. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The operations now ongoing in the northeast, northwest, south-south and north-central, in addition to joint military operations with other security agencies in the country, are targeted at protecting law-abiding citizens and territorial integrity of Nigeria.
We have tried to project air power not only within Nigeria, but also outside Nigeria. We were in Malawi to deliver federal government relief materials. We were in Mozambique to deliver relief materials during the flood disaster. We were also in Gambia to support the democratic process under the ECOWAS mandate.
Chairman House Committee on Air Force Mohammed Shehu Koko noted the sacrifices of security personnel and pledged necessary support of Parliament to achieve objectives.
For the first time, Nigerian Air Force decorates first female fighter pilot. This is a thing of pride to this country.
The meeting is to identify key areas of need before budget defense. At a separate interaction with House Committee on Housing and Habitat, management of the Federal Housing Authority disclosed plans by the federal government to embark on mass housing schemes for security personnel and internally displaced persons. The need to review the Federal Housing Authority Act of 1973 was highlighted at the meeting. Meanwhile, the House Committee on Media and Publicity has held its inaugural meeting.
Commitment of Mr. Speaker as undertaken in his statement of purpose to open the legislative process of the 9th House to effective citizens' participation and involvement in the bid to ensure that our constituents become real partners in our democracy and progress.
The committee is poised to change public perception through enlightenment and also combat fake news, which is becoming a menace to the polity. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Thank you, Lami. And now, away from the National Assembly, the Nigerian High Commission in Ghana has refuted social media fake news to the effect that some unnamed Ghanaian authority has forbidden non-resident Nigerians in Ghana from operating bank accounts and that such accounts will be blocked by November 2019. A statement from the High Commission says relevant Ghanaian authorities have denied such directives and appeals to all to remain calm. Let's take another break. News Extra continues shortly. Please stay with us.
Use. Let me give phone to Smally, make I follow her. Go.
It's Wasu, your former driver.
Hey! Wasu! The video call! Oh, Kaka! Mommy. With my Glow 4G, I can now upload my cars online, sell and make plenty profit. Guess what they call me now, mommy? The new mega online car dealer.
Wasu! Shake now when the iron is hot.
See, my way won't be like Shaki. I will come and meet you specially and bring one big one for you.
Why you won't see me?
Your daughter. I want to marry her.
You know where? I've been wanting to do it.
Hello?
When Glow 4G day of you, confidence must stay body. Data is oxygen. Glow 4G, the new speed of life. Your #1 4G network nationwide. The very best from Glow, the grandmasters of data.
Start your day easier and happier with LG Inverter. Gain peace of mind with an efficient laundry cycle. Feel cooler air even at midday without any worries. Enjoy mealtime with food kept fresh all day long. The LG Inverter enriches your everyday life. Better inverter, LG Inverter.
When headache strikes, I remembered Mom's advice.
Son, don't let anything stop you.
Sudrex acts fast to relieve headaches. Sudrex, win your day.
To the old school. Everybody love me when I do what I do. Cause when I come through, I got the power of cool. The power of cool.
What we are really cultivating here is a better future for all Nigerian women, and it's not always easy. Panadol Extra relieves headache, backache, joint pain, toothache, and menstrual pain. The pain is worth it.
When be saying now today or 4 days when my girls won't come visit me, I need to come go expire.
Oh, my guys, they can't follow me watch this match. I must not fold the hand. Hey!
Babe, what's happening now? Sorry to disappoint you, but my subscription don't expire.
The match is not on my GoTV package.
Now your holla be that. I beg, give me your phone. Look, I show you how you go take do it for my GoTV app for your phone.
Life is so much easier with my GoTV app. Make payments, clear error messages, change your package. You can also check your due dates and keep abreast of your payment history.
With the corner,
The new My GoTV app is everything you need in one place. So what are you waiting for? Download My GoTV app now from Google Play or App Store to enjoy the easy life. GoTV. Live it, love it.
everybody dance now. We are the strongest. No challenge can stop us, so Lord.
Let most of goodness fuel your greatness. Let's go.
Welcome back to News Extra. But it's now time for us to pause from here, Abuja, and join Abolade Salami live in Lagos for business news. So Abolade, it's over to you. Good evening.
Thank you, Fatima. Good evening and welcome to the business news segment. The International Monetary Fund has urged policymakers around the world to work assiduously in reducing regional and global trade tensions to guide against market vulnerabilities. They said this will adversely affect capital inflows and foreign direct investment. And now let's see what's happening in the global oil market. Oil price eased further below $59 a barrel owing to concerns on weaker demand for fuel due to slower economic growth and forecast of a further rise in U.S. crude inventories. Brent crude on the global benchmark to 52.82 cents. In a bearish signal for demand, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) on Tuesday in Washington, D.C. said the U.S.-China trade war could cut 2019 global growth to its slowest since the 2018 to 2009 financial crisis. Meanwhile, Secretary General OPEC Mohammed Barakindo said OPEC and its allies will implement deeper cuts in oil production. The Nigerian Stock Exchange recently introduced a review to its pricing methodology, whereby pricing of securities traded on the floor of the exchange is expected to be guided by some certain rules. While explaining the aim, the amended pricing methodology is expected to achieve, as stockbroker Charles Fakura says the new development will encourage efficiency and stability on the pricing of securities.
That is the condition, and which the community believes that is the way to encourage real price discovery, efficiency, and fairness in the market. So for me to increase or decrease, not even deliberately, the market condition, demand and supply, if for a price that is doing above 100 naira to go below, then I need 100,000 units. The same also applies if a security is going for 4 naira and I want to increase the price, not deliberately, demand and supply. I need 100,000 units in terms of volume. So it's just simply saying for traders, as you are buying and selling, for you to move price up and down, this is just the new condition.
Guideline in pricing will be determined by forces of demand and supply. And still staying put with activities on the floor of the exchange, sell pressures continued to push downward trading of stocks on the Nigerian capital markets, as 11 stocks posted decline this Wednesday. Here are details of middle trading.
Despite the fact that 13 stocks posted gains, the bull was resisted from gaining access into broad streets as the bearish run sustained its drive. The market declined further by 0.16% to close the all-share index at 26,472.20 basis points. Volume of shares traded closed at 138 million, valued at 3.6 billion naira, which changed hands in 2,487 deals, with a market capitalization of 12.8 trillion naira. On the activity chart, Nestle, Dangote Flour, and Guarantee finished in the green line, while on the flip side, Stanbic, WAPCO, and MTNN declined in figures. On sectoral performance, NSE Banking and Consumer Goods closed in the green, appreciating by 0.07% and 0.22%, while NSE Industrial, NSE Insurance, and Oil and Gas sectors declined in figures by 1.01%, 0.21%, and 0.29%.
And that does it on business. It's back to Fatima in Abuja for the continuation of the news. Good evening.
Well, thank you so much, Abolade, for the business package. Now we'll take you back to our earlier report by Lydia Sampson on the discovery of hydrocarbon deposits in Kolmani River 2 in the northeast. Why? Because it ended abruptly, and we would want you to have the full package. So watch. So watch.
In Kolmani River started in the 1990s when international oil companies used 2D seismic data to explore crude oil. The search led to the discovery of 146 feet of hydrocarbon sand in the Kolmani River 1 well, with estimated prospects to contain about 33 billions of cubic feet of gas. But the IOCs, however, didn't investigate deep target as the drilling was based on 2S seismic data. In 2016 and 2017, a subsidiary of NNPC Frontier Exploration Services acquired the 3D seismic data over the Kolmani River prospects area in order to determine whether there is any possibility of prospects overlooked by multinationals. In the light of this, the drilling of the Kolmani River Well 2 was flagged off by President Muhammadu Buhari on the 2nd of February 2019.
We still need a virile oil and gas industry to take care
of the challenges of the moment and to invest for the future.
In line with President Muhammadu Buhari's local content drive in Nigerian oil and gas industry, an indigenous drilling firm, Etihad Oil Services, was contracted to continue the prospecting, and today the search has yielded a positive result.
To congratulate Nigerians for having this breakthrough, and no one should see it as a personal or regional victory. It is, as I said, it is an added value chain to the oil and gas industry, which will be beneficial to all.
A press release by the NNPC Acting Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Samson Makoji, stated that the well was drilled with a Kenga rig 101 to a total depth of 13,701 feet, encountering oil and gas in several levels. A drill stem test is currently ongoing to confirm the commercial viability and flow of the Kolmani River reservoirs. The corporation explained that on Thursday, 10th October 2019, one of the reservoirs was perforated and hydrocarbons started flowing to the wellhead, in which the gas component was flared to prevent air charge around the rig. Preliminary reports indicates that the discovery consists of gas, condensate, and light sweet oil of API gravity ranging from 30 to 41. Computation of hydrocarbon volume is ongoing and expected to be announced in due course. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
A report worth going back to, isn't it? Yes, that is good news for Nigeria as a whole. The federal government is laying foundation for the country to be among the world's leading producers and suppliers of food crops. President Muhammadu Buhari, in a message delivered at the 2019 Agric Show marking this year's World Food Day, says more land will be opened up for cultivation, while extension and financial support will be made accessible to smallholder farmers. Musa Babaliu tells us more.
And what determines hunger have always been the bone of contention in African concept of access to food and that of the United Nations agencies. The World Food Programme, on the other hand, says even when food is accessible, it must be balanced to meet minimum physiological needs. The vast of the hungry people live in developing countries where 12.9% of the population is undernourished.
A lot of, even the civil servants, among the civil servants, some cannot even boast of 2 square meals.
Some don't have, some don't really have. Why some have little, but not be enough for the children, depends on the population they are in.
And this is why this year's World Food Day is focusing on how to achieve global zero hunger.
Let us commit to a better nutrition for a happier, healthy, and better life.
This year's World Food Day is coming at a time when Nigeria is testing our capacity and ability to produce enough food to feed its population without dependence on importation. The federal government is insisting that the country has no reason importing what can be produced locally, especially vegetables and grains.
While we applaud this action, it is necessary for us, the farmers, to work very hard to reciprocate this gesture by embracing agriculture sustainably as a business and in order to make it the mainstay of the economy as obtained before the discovery of oil. The protection of our farmers against foreign invaders must rank high in our list of priorities, because it would amount to self-sabotage if we cannot curb our appetite for imported food items.
Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohamed Sabononono, says the country has no food crisis despite the closure of land border, explaining the fact that the country is food secured.
We are producing enough now to feed ourselves. And I think there is no hunger in this country, but if you say some inconveniences, yes.
Agriculturists are of the view that the country has been experiencing steady increase in her food production and supply since 2016. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And the Federal Executive Council this Wednesday approved more than 2 billion naira for the provision of critical infrastructure to further strengthen security in the nation's aviation sector. This is coming less than a week after the sector was adjudged as one of the most secured in the aviation world. The Council equally approved the construction of 2 oil and gas parks towards providing better service for the petroleum industry in Nigeria. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports on this and other approvals at the Council's meeting.
Honorable Ministers of Aviation,
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, leading 3 other ministers to brief the press on the deliberation of the Federal Executive Council at its meeting this Wednesday. The Council considered and approved 2 memos for the Ministry of Aviation, and Minister Adisirika says the first approval was for the construction of indoor shooting range for aviation security. This is sequel to the earlier approval by the President for security at the nation's airports to bear arms for improved security.
The sum is 2,413,963,035 naira and 75 kobo. This included all of the taxes, and the completion period, of course, is 2 months. That has been graciously approved by His Excellency Mr. President. This is in line with the suggestions and recommendations by UN Counter-Terrorism Unit and also the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO.
Second memo approved is the ratification of the Instrument of International Civil Aviation Organization treaties. These are 5 in number. The Ministry of Transportation got approval for the purchase and installation of 300 buoys on the River Niger for the inland waterways. The first of its kind was done in 2017 and 2018 from Baro to Onitsha, when 200 buoys were purchased and installed. As Minister of State Transportation, Bemi Saraki says, this is to ensure that the waterways are navigable for the vessels.
Obviously, it opens up that area, and it's part of the program of the President to have the infrastructural system in Nigeria improved and strengthened, because that is how it will generate wealth.
For the Petroleum Ministry, 2 memos were presented and approved by the Council. These include the approval for 2 oil and gas parks to be sited in Akwa Ibom and Bayelsa states.
The oil and gas parks are to support the development and manufacture of oil and gas tools. As some of you know, in some countries, the service sector of the oil industry is sometimes even bigger than the oil industry itself.
Minister of State Petroleum Timi Priya Silva said the government is committed to developing the service sector of the petroleum industry, and that this will further provide jobs and security, especially for the Niger Delta region. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NT News.
Many thanks, Judy. Nigeria and the Ghanaian government are working to close any economic gap that the partial border closure may have created. Ghanaian Ministers of Foreign Affairs Shirley Bochwe and that of Trade Alan Kere-Martin, while on a visit to Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema, agreed to work together to protect their economies. The Ghanaian ministers raised concerns over the inability of the country to export goods into Nigeria as a result of the border closure, but understand that the measure was necessary.
Solve the issue so that our exports into Nigeria will continue to have safe passage without any impediments.
Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, explains that the border closure was both for economic and security reasons.
With regards to the mischief that we want to address, but clearly there's going to be flexibility to maintain the spirit and the rules of ECOWAS, and that's what we're trying to do with Ghana, to find solutions to particular challenges.
The 2 countries emphasized the mutual benefits of bilateral trade agreements they both enjoyed over the years and pledged to improve on it. 200 youths from Ibeju-Lekki axis of Lagos have been trained and empowered in 7 vocational skills by the leadership of Dangote Petroleum Refinery. Amaka Ugo witnessed the graduation of these youths and now reports.
These are beneficiaries of the vocational skills empowerment programs by Dangote Petroleum Refinery, being presented certificates upon completion of the 6-month training. 34-year-old Sheyi Oluwaseun and 27-year-old Temitope Akinwale expressed gratitude for being empowered in the area of electrical and plumbing repairs.
It has really helped me to equip in electrical installation in the practical field of it. One of the projects I learned in this plumbing aspect, which is called plumbing stack system.
Community leaders of Ibeju-Lekki axis of Lagos State and Managing Director from the Lagos State Lekki Worldwide Investment say Dangote Refinery will trigger economic growth in the state.
The program is a laudable one and which will go a long way in engaging the idle hands in productive economic activities.
Dangote's investment there alone, a refinery, fertilizer plant, petrochemical project, has enhanced a lot of visibility for the zone.
For the leadership of Dangote Petroleum Refinery, it will not only develop the Ibeju-Lekki axis through the ongoing Dangote Refinery, but also empower youths of host communities.
Any of the states where we have our operating companies, we have this program. Once the factory starts producing, there is a positive cash flow. We try to support people with the youth empowerment programs. Targeted December 2020 for mechanical completion, and we are very confident of completing as on that date.
The graduates showcased various projects to replicate the skills acquired. Other areas of vocational training include refrigerating and air conditioning repairs, iron bending, bricklaying, welding, furnishing and carpentry, and auto mechanical repairs. In Lagos, Amaka O, NT News.
That's a good one, I must say. Waste is not waste indeed, unless it is wasted. Experts are stressing this and advocating effective structuring of the informal sector and massive enlightenment as key to harnessing potential in e-waste and its sound management. Jennifer Igwe reports that these issues, including health and environmental effects of e-waste, formed deliberations at a one-day event in Lagos.
Computers, refrigerators, and other electronics and electrical devices become obsolete so fast. And as this happens, the amount of e-waste in Nigeria and the world at large keeps growing. A United Nations Environment Program report shows that the world produces 50 million tons of electronic waste yearly, weighing more than all commercial airliners ever made. Interestingly, only 20% of this is formally recycled.
We have a project currently in collaboration with the Global Environmental Facility. It is supported by United Nations Environmental Program. So it is a program in which we hope to come up with a model in which this e-waste can be treated.
Stakeholders at this event say improper management of discarded electronics and electrical devices is causing health hazards, significant loss of scarce and valuable materials, including environmental pollution.
They contain dangerous chemicals, heavy metals like lead, mercury, cadmium, which are poisonous to human health.
Products that we use, such as gold, I mean, imagine that, gold, silver, palladium, other precious materials such as neodymium are within electronic waste.
Management of e-waste is also crucial to the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. Electronic waste is one of the fastest growing streams of waste worldwide, and there is no sign that it will slow down. A day like the International E-Waste Day is used to create awareness on the need for the effective management of e-waste because of its effect on human lives, livelihood, and the environment. In Lagos, Jennifer Igwe, NTA News.
What a very important day to celebrate the e-waste day. You know what they say, that familiarity breeds contempt. That is what seems to be happening with the law banning the operation of commercial motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, in the Federal Capital City Center. It looks like the enforcers too are no longer interested in enforcing the ban. If not, how does one explain the increase in the influx of the Okada riders in prohibited areas in the city center? Well, Ilyasu Onoto-Yakubu tells us why.
Apart from flouting the ban on their operations in the city center, they drive against traffic, thereby constituting danger to the lives of other road users. From Asokoro to Games Village, Galadimawa and Apo, the story is one that tells the picture of the horror residents have to contend with in the wake of the return of Okada riders to the city center. In some cases, security operatives helplessly watch.
Apart from the fact that bikemen are reckless on the road, they are also involved in crimes and criminal activities.
Area 1 remains one of the areas within the Federal Capital City that remains banned to commercial motorcycle operators, popularly known as Okada riders. But from all indications, they seem to be having a field day without recourse to the restrictions. Abubakar Adamu is one of the numerous riders along the roads. He is aware of the ban on their business operations in the city center, but they have chosen to demarcate between what he described as the city part of Area 1 on the right wing and the village on the left.
There is no road they place when they do Okada. We know the intercity or town where they do Okada. Now only villages where they stay inside Area 1.
You know, say them ban Okada for Abuja?
Yes.
You know, but yet they ride for Abuja?
Yes, I know.
The FCT VIO says 8 operatives have intensified clampdown on the Okada riders daily, while those arrested are prosecuted for violating the ban.
We are not going to relent. You will agree with me that these people are very violent. Sometimes, so many times, our vehicles are damaged in the course of operation. Our officers are injured. But with the recent development, especially the cooperation we are having with the Nigerian police, I think those things, by the special grace of God, has changed.
The authorities, however, appealed for the general public's cooperation in enforcing the ban by desisting from patronizing the riders when in the city center. Ilyasu Onoto-Yakubu, NTA News.
Thank you for the update, Ilyasu. Now, Governor Masari releases land for the takeoff of fire training school in Katsina. These and other stories right after the break. Please stay with us.
Family, meet our active triplets. Mixology, for example, mixes well with drinks. Then enjoy every quick meal with Slurp It Off. And everywhere you go, there is Go-Gurt. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy, Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good. Hollandia.
Your information dey important, just like your identity. Now the only way we fit take hala you, make you go browse easy.gotvafrica.com. Sign in with your IUC number and mobile number and scroll down to personal details and address. Then check well to see say everything bam. You fit change the one we not correct. To finish everything, just click the save button and it don't finish.
Thank you. I make sure say my phone number dey correct. That's not why GoTV fit call me make I come collect my own awoof.
Angel, time for my phone is that why? Because now my correct phone number dey for book.
GoTV, live it, love it.
Now look me again, no. Make you go do your own.
Let's come together as we celebrate the uniqueness of our cultural diversity, showcase our creativity and ingenuity. It's the National Festival for Arts and Culture, NAFest 2019, in the ancient city of Benin, Edo State, the heartbeat of the nation. Theme, our reality, our pride. Holding 19 19th through 26th October 2019. Highlights will include drama, children poetry performance, essay writing competition, crafts competition, indigenous cuisine, traditional wrestling, indigenous fabrics in royal apparel, cultural quiz competition, more games, and lots more. Oh yes, it's the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST 2019, Edo State, Nigeria, holding 19th to 26th October 2019. We are celebrating our heritage. Otumba Olusegun Unshiwe, Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, announcer.
Great to know you're still with us. One of the key components of the next level agenda of government is to place premium on the safety of lives and property of all Nigerians. Such intentions will, however, materialize better when all tiers of government and the general public key into the agenda. That is not me talking, that is the governor of Katsina State, Aminu Bello Masari, when he presented documents of 10 hectares of land to the Controller General, Federal Fire Service, Liman Ibrahim, for the take-off of Federal Fire Services Training School in Kankia local government area of Katsina State. Do India was there.
Kankia is one of the 34 local government areas of Katsina State. Today, the town is celebrating with drums rolling out from the famous Yambun Kaura dancers. A new baby is about to be delivered. It is the National Fire Institute for the Northwest Zone, an initiative of the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration towards providing the needed skills and manpower development for disaster managers. But before then was the meeting between the Controller General of the Federal Fire Service and his management team and the Chief Security Officer of Katsina State, Governor Aminu Bello Masari, on modalities for the takeoff of the project.
Distribution of this asset across the country has been ongoing in the last 2 months, and today is the turn of Katsina State. I'm here today to formally give effect to the approval given by the Minister of Interior under the headship of Alakira for Rekoshona for the establishment of a federal fire service.
And so, the presentation of documents for the hectares of land by the state government.
There should be education, sensitization of using fire-resistant materials in terms of buildings and other services. So I think we're on the right track.
With huge investment being made by the federal government through the provision of equipment and capacity building for security and safety officers, residents say the academy, when completed, would not only help to boost the capacity of the state in terms of disaster management, but also open up the area for socio-economic development.
This is one of such noble causes of saving life and properties. So on our own part from the National Assembly, we've always been collaborating with him, and we are going to make sure that we appropriate some funds into this project, not only in Kenya, but in all the geopolitical zones. It will be very beneficial to us. A lot of our people will be employed, a lot of our boys will be trained. That's one of the things which will help us, and a lot of guests will come and boost our economy.
The National Training Institute Northwest Zone is to complement 5 other institutes across the country. Doing Dia NT News.
From Katsina now, we'll take you to Lagos. The development of any nation is hinged on the quality of education of its people. To boost the standard and quality of secondary education in Nigeria, James Hope College, under the Jim Ovia Foundation, has formally acquired the American International School property to serve as a permanent site of the institution in Lagos. Ruth Ario Samuel reports.
That signifies the official acquisition of the American International School property located in Twin Lake Estate, Lekki, Lagos, by the James Hope College, the brainchild of Jimovia Foundation. CEO and founder of the foundation, Mr. Jimovia, said with the acquisition of the property and its location in Lagos, 50% of educational needs in the country will be met, considering the population of the state.
We have to join hands to build and uplift the educational standard in Lagos or in Nigeria through Lagos. When it happens in Lagos, it's happening in the whole country.
We view the new James Hope College as direct evidence of the economic growth and opportunities in Nigeria and of Nigerians who have a vision for their future and are taking steps to make those visions a reality.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said promoting education is a step in the right direction as it will greatly impact the development of the state and the nation at large.
We are hoping to be able to renovate over 300 schools. Over 300 of them want to give them a brand new look in which it becomes a place where the children will truly learn, a place where knowledge will truly be transferred, a place where when they wake up they would want to go to.
Education is very important. When you look at all the issues that we talk about in this country, or in Africa, challenges of health, challenges of poverty, challenges of security, and so on and so forth, you will notice that the only cure is this education.
James Hope College, Lagos, is expected to take off in September 2020. 40% of the admitted students will get full scholarship based on merit. In Lagos, Ruth Ario Samuel, NTA News.
Now, we always hear of garbage in, garbage out. Apply this to secondary school, and what do you get? Unqualified teachers and all qualified graduates. Well, the Ondo state government is not happy with this scenario and is initiating plans to recruit more qualified teachers to fill in the deficits needed in public schools. Doris Olumoko takes a look at this and the effort to strengthen infrastructure for quality teaching and learning in schools.
Effective teaching and learning is key for educational development. However, in a situation where there are bottlenecks in the process, students are always at the receiving end, thereby negatively affecting the quality of the young generation. Though the Ondo State government is paying attention to the educational needs of the people through the renovation of about 833 schools across the 18 local government areas of the state, more still needs to be done as most schools lack furniture and other facilities.
This is one of the classrooms of a public primary school here in Akure, the Ondo State capital. This school was last renovated in the year 2010. This particular classroom is already not conducive for learning. As you can see, the looking roof of this school has led to the destruction of some of the asbestos in this classroom.
Available statistics shows that Ondo State has about 7,274 primary school teachers out of about 15,000 required to effectively man the 1,233 primary schools spread across the state.
We believe without personnel, then all those things will crumble. And that is why we are crying. So you go to a whole school, you see a teacher, qualified teacher and competent and qualified teacher will just be 5 to many pupils.
On its part, Ondo State government has concluded plans of redeploying about 300 qualified teachers from mainstream public service to the schools.
All we are waiting for now is the approval of Mr. Governor so that they will be redeployed accordingly to schools and their areas of specialization.
The Ondo State government is also recruiting fresh graduates to teach in schools. In Akure, Doris Olumoko, NTA News.
In less than 72 hours, lovers of arts, culture and history from across Nigeria and beyond will be in Benin City for the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST. Key players in the festival, including the Director, National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Olusegun Orunsewe, are all already on ground. How ready then is Edo State to host this national event? What should Nigerians expect from this? Ive Omori, I beg your pardon, reports from the Oba Ekenzua Cultural Center in Benin, one of the venues for the event.
Cultural carnival with the aim of promoting national unity is going to hold here in a few. The Oba Ekenzua Cultural Center is one of the scheduled venues for this event. Clearly, finishing touches are being made to ensure that the atmosphere and the location is suitable for the guests coming and the delegates to have a suitable environment to play, perform, and meet other people. With me is the National Planning Committee Chairman. Do you think Edo State is ready for the event with all you have seen so far?
Honestly, I must commend Edo State government. This is an edifice we thought would not be ready before the NAFES starting proper. But today, I'm extremely impressed that the edifice is quite ready. Every other preparation is going on, and I can see all the 36 states and Abuja, FCT, coming to have a wonderful outing here in Benin City.
One other thing that makes this year's edition unique is that it coincides with the 3rd year coronation anniversary and birthday of the Benin monarch, Oba Ewaye II. The double celebration is widely seen on banners and billboards across city centers. Monuments with unequaled historical backgrounds have been revived and beautified.
The expectation is very high. The joy, the happiness, the excitement is high. So, like I said, we are hosting to win. And I'm more particular about the benefit he is going to come to our people.
We are happy that it's happening now. And we are looking forward to a very, very robust, very great, very enterprising outing for the state.
Igun Street, the haven for arts and crafts, is another venue for the festival. Iron steel constructors are already producing in excess as they anticipate massive sales.
There are many varieties of things here that we made, like all those are down the Ben and Idiani Yesigie. This Idiani Yesigie head and other traditional things.
We are ever ready because Igun Street is a gallery of its own.
Its economic viability is another area of focus, with makeshift structures dotting the place for brisk business. It is no longer news that Edo, the home of culture, is hosting this year's Festival of Arts and Culture. Expectedly, these ones are rehearsing. They are trying to put finishing touches to their performances that they will show to the world on Monday. In Benin, Ivie Omoyi, NTA News.
Well, Ivy, with what I've seen, I can't wait for NAFES to start, and I know so many people out there can't wait too. Now, you are what you eat is a saying that explains the significance of eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle. To emphasize this, the Indian High Commission in Abuja organized a dinner where health experts brainstormed on the use of food as medicine to cure ailments. Glory Abel tells us more.
Health experts believe that an uncompromising adherence to health codes helps to drive out diseases. The father of jungle farming, Dr. Kada Valley, speaks on the use of 5 types of millets to heal ailments such as thyroid, obesity, arthritis, anemia, and many more.
That if we analyzed the situation back in 1900, there was no diabetes, there was no cancer, there was no HIV. All these diseases were almost non-existent. There might have been 1 in crore, 1 in billion, like that. So the simple logic clearly told me that if the human race gets back to the ancient grains and just somehow manage to rejuvenate those old ancient grains and make them eat to this sick world, can we get back the health?
People are tired of what is happening with the modern days agriculture and the industrial agriculture for that matter, and that is what we have in this country.
The extent of the medical qualities of these foods was elaborately discussed and questions asked on the accessibility of these grains in the open markets.
We must connect well with agriculture and culture. There are 2 major points of keeping a nation together. And I want to see us producing a lot of our local food that can make us eat healthy.
Dr. Valley advises Nigerian farmers to invest in and cultivate this millet as a practice to boost the economy and ensure food sufficiency in the country. In Abuja, Glory Agbo, NTA News.
Thank you, Glory. Now, the authorities of the Nigerian Army who wish to inform the public of the change of name of one of its annual training exercises, codenamed Exercise Igweke, to Exercise Atilogu Udo. A statement by the Nigerian Army Operation Media Coordinator, Colonel Aminu Ilyasu, indicates that the annual training exercise covers the southeast region of the country and is designed to combat criminal activities such as kidnapping, armed robbery, intercult and communal clashes, among other sundry crimes. Now, what a man can do, a woman can do just or well or even better. That should sound familiar. Well, that is what played out at the induction of the first female pilots and promotion of the first female air warrant officer by the Nigerian Air Force. Najat Tijani will guide us on this one.
Officer Kafayat Sani, the 23-year-old who is now combat ready, is the only female to qualify as a fighter pilot in the history of the Nigerian Air Force. What stood her out? Why was she selected?
It's opportunities, and then I try to put my best in everything I do.
Marching closely is Flying Officer Tolulope Arotile, who is also the first female helicopter pilot and shares the same qualities as her counterpart.
The experience was amazing. Being in the air is fun. It's nothing like the ground, and I like it because it's a fun career, and I'll just never get bored.
The 23-year-old specialty is the combat helicopter, which is used in counter-insurgency operations. While they are the first combat-ready female pilots, the Nigerian Air Force has other female pilots trained in flying cargo and other Nigerian Air Force aircraft. Similarly, Air Warrant Officer Garba is the first air woman to be promoted to this rank.
I'm so elated, I'm so happy, and I thank God Almighty for giving me this opportunity to serve for this number of years in the Nigerian Air Force.
Being a day for women, the Minister of Women Affairs counts it as a forecast of the role of women in Nigeria in years to come.
It is the political will and the support Mr. President has given the Air Force that has resulted in this. We need more of such political will from our leaders, and we pray that Mr. President will continue to give the necessary support to all the armed forces so that more of such celebrations will come.
This induction brings the number of NAF pilots to 105 since 2015, and beyond celebrating this milestone, the Nigerian Air Force says the induction will boost counterinsurgency efforts, especially as it prepares to receive 2 new helicopter gunships. In the meantime, these female record breakers say the sky is only the beginning. Najat Tijani, NTA News.
Sure, the sky is only the beginning for Nigerian women. Now, congratulations to them and to all Nigerian women. Now, sports and weather after the break. Please stay.
That channel where you watch just now don't waka, no panic. There's no panic. You go do it by yourself like ABC. Oh yeah, press the menu button on top your remote. Scroll up and down till you see Information Central. Then press OK. Press OK. Check the signal strength and quality. If the signal strength and quality pass 70, make you press the exit button, go back. Go advanced options, then choose installation, then go to reset and press OK. Press OK.
Wow, now you fit catch all those channels will be one miss road by yourself. Yes, make your groove for no loss. You see as I do, Abi? And I see as I do,
Go TV, live it, love it.
And I see as we do,
86,400 seconds in a day, and just one like this. The golden moment when it all comes together. The people, the style, the flavor. I'll drink to that. Guinness Gold Beer. Savor the flavor.
Welcome back. Nigerian athletes win at the maiden games in Doha. Over to Mranzi Marcus with details of this and more news and sports update.
Nigeria will no